All right, let's make some noise. Yeah, hold up. Let me make sure all right, cool. If you don't know, now you know, you better know. If you better know, you better recognize. I am Dre, the host of the d.z.n.podcast. Yes, back again. Hope everybody's quarantine is doing okay, fine and dandy. We know everybody's going through a tough time right now, but hey, the d.z.n. podcast is here, back in effect and all of that. So, of course, my name is Dre again, and my guest here is...
My guy, what's good with you, brother? You already know it's big cousin in the building, Darius, a.k.a. Streets, a.k.a. Bash. You know, I don't go by many names, but Money is my main name, okay? If you didn't know, you better respect it.
All right, first of all, can you put the microphone in front of your mouth, sir, so everybody can hear you clearly?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we here.
There we go. All right, but first, you know how we do it. If you don't know, you're about to find out. We play beats, and we may rap, we may not rap. I don't know. We're going to play something, though. Of course, I made it. If you want to buy a beat, it's retrodreproductions@gmail.com. Want to hit me up?
Hit the DM.
Email and DM on Instagram, retrodre, retro.d.r.e. But let's get to it, though.
I like the introduction of this shit, Dre. It's like on some mellow shit.
d.z.n. podcast. d.z.n. podcast. d.z.n. podcast. Retro Dre. That's the name I go by if you didn't know. Of course, now you know, now we back in effect, you feel me? I'm gonna try something though. Yeah. It's the d.z.n. podcast, rocking out every day and every night podcast. Put the signs in the ear, you already know. Retro Dre back on the mic, I got a flow. Do what I need, project coming out. A couple weeks, always got this time rocking out. I'm rocking out all day, I'm rocking out all night. Doing what I gotta do to make sure I'm living right, because I gotta live right and live nice and live the greatest like I do every time I'm on the fucking mic and do what did I need. I get it every day. I gotta be fly and clean it in my mind, cause if I ain't in my mind, I gotta be everywhere I go in time. I trust myself. I can't do nobody else, man. I can't trust everybody, cause all they got is they self. But all I got is myself and my wealth and my mind, and I always gotta do that. I may mess up when I freestyle sometimes, but I still got it every time that I gotta rhyme. I do it to get better every time I'm on the mic. I ain't perfect, but when I spit, I'm getting right. You already know, only said a couple curse words, cause I'm nice without having be profane ass. Retro Dre on the fucking mic. Yeah. Retro Dre on the fucking mic.
Yeah. That's my little cuz. If you didn't know, he about to blow when he in the studio. I'm about to go. And if you niggas got problems, hold on, we can solve them with revolvers. Pull up to the curb, yeah, I'm about that. I'm about that action like an action figure. Matter of fact, I'm about to bit the triggers. Matter of fact, I'm trying to get some figures. It's the d.z.n. podcast. It's the d.z.n. podcast.
Hey.
It's the d.z.n. podcast. Matter of fact, light that gas up real fast. Yeah, when I'm in the building. Mothers and fathers, you better go on hide your children. Cause I've been high. And yeah, I better be signed by the time of 2009. Well, damn, by the end of 2020. Damn, this shit is funny. How we go to work, but we can't get money cause now we locked in the quarantine. Damn, looking bummy. Can't go see the barber even. Damn, this shit is kind of seething. I mean, my bars is kind of receding. I mean, damn, my shit is kind of retreating. You believing? Damn. Whew. I mean, I'm just getting warmed up. I got the Henny in my fucking cup. And yeah, I'm about to let the gas up. Feeling kind of good now. Yeah, we about to fucking vibe, alright?
Like I said, if you don't know now, you know, this is d.z.n. podcast, man, rocking out, you know. Yes, sir. Retro Dre is in the the building. d.z.n.podcast with my cousin over here right beside me.
You already streets with $2 signs, you know.
All right.
Let's get right into it.
All right, man. First of all, tilt the mic up a little bit so we can get you loud and clear.
Yo.
All right.
Yo.
You see the little metal part on the side there?
Right here?
No, not that one, the other
This one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just to keep it in place so it won't fall on you. Twist it a certain way.
Yo. Just a little bit more right there.
Yes, sir.
Si perfecto now, mi amigo.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. But first and foremost, man, how you doing?
I'm good, brother. I'm blessed, man. You know, another day amongst the living. You know, could be amongst the dead, especially the way things going now.
Yes, sir.
How about you, brother? How you good?
Like I said, man, alive and dandy, man. I say alive and dandy because I've noticed that every day is a day.
Facts.
Living, like I said, well or not well, you're still here. And
Facts.
everything I learned so far in my life is a lie. So, yeah.
Right. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, you know, people raise you up to, you know, respect your elders and, you know, go about the right way of life. But when life abruptly changes, what do you do then?
Adapt. Like
Right,
we're always
right.
supposed to do.
Right.
Adapt or die. Because if you don't adapt, you're going to get left behind every time.
Facts.
And if you dwell too much on what's going on in the past, present, or future, you're going to be in a place of depression. Like some of these people are at now. If it's people their whole life had faith in celebrities or public figures that don't have their best interest and can't give them the answers when they really need to look to their self if they don't have their parents to help give them the answers, because you got to find it for yourself.
Right.
Ain't nobody going to do it for you.
Right. Never have, never will.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just life. You know, like you were saying, you know, piggybacking off of, you know, your last statement, no one is ever going to do anything for you. You know, they might seem like they want to do something for you, or they might present it like they're doing something for you. But in the end all result is your decision to do that for yourself. So at the end of the day, it's self-preservation.
Yeah. Like I said, knowledge of self is the most important. And a lot of people don't have knowledge of self. That's why people in such different circumstances that they just don't have the wherewithal mentally.
Right.
If you, like I said, want to go into it, like that's why. So unfortunately, our people now are stuck in a position because we don't have knowledge of self as a unit.
Bro.
Some of us do, but a lot of us don't. They think white people supposed to save us. Like, no, they don't respect us because we don't know who we are.
In a general sense.
We don't know who we are, where we come from.
Nothing.
Everything.
Where you originate, you know, everything, you know, but that's a whole nother podcast, you know. What we getting into today, brother?
Man, just today, man, just kind of talk about what this quarantine been doing to us.
I feel that, bro. I think as a nation, man, you know, honestly, I really truly think that, you know, a lot of people might be mad at me for it. A lot of people might say, he's just another guy, like, you know, that's just out here in the blue, not knowing what he's talking about. But I really feel like at the end of the day, every cycle, per se, you know, every 5 years, every 10 years, every 20 years, there's always something that affects the economy or either the people that's in its economy. Whether or not it's disaster relief, example, Katrina, or, you know, Hurricane Fran for North Carolina, you know, things of that nature, you know, whether it's a disaster relief fund or whether or not it's a pandemic or epidemic like we're going through right now. You know, a lot of people forget with this whole COVID-19 thing going on, and now that we're in quarantine, a lot of people forget about N1. I believe it was called H1 or H1N1, swine flu. When we had that in North Carolina, that was another epidemic. It just didn't get big as the coronavirus to become a pandemic. You see what I'm saying? But each one, if you look in each one of them in its reality, no matter what it is, each one is another way. I look at it as being hysterical, but yet not, because it's funny how people don't realize what's really going on, in neighborhoods like Durham, per se, in North Carolina, or Fayetteville, in some parts of Fayetteville, or some parts of Goldsboro, privatized sections in the state, pretty much. What they do is they buy up real estate around that land and they make the market value go up so they can gentrify our people out because we can't afford it. But with these pandemics and disaster reliefs, that's another way of the government to gentrify us off the earth. Now, hear what I'm saying. Gentrification kicks you out of a neighborhood. It changes the scenery, it changes the HOAs, things of that nature, plenty of things that I am uneducated on, so I won't go into it completely because I don't speak on anything that I'm not completely educated on. But at the end of the day, I know that gentrification does change the population as well of what is being populated in that area, whether or not it's race, gender, age, or whatever, right? Now, let's say gangs of America, right? Or gangs in general, predominantly are with who?
Well, let the TV tell it. They look like us. Blacks,
African Americans, or as we consider ourselves, niggas. But at the end of the day, who's also the other half of those gangs?
Like I said, Italians, Hispanics,
Latino Americans, or Hispanics. Correct? Now, if we look in studies from 2020 back to 2010, back to 2000, the government has seen how gang leaders have stopped murdering opposite gangs. They've seen how we've stopped to selling certain drugs in our neighborhoods because they kill off our people. Now that we're not killing ourselves, they say, oh, okay, well, we'll hit this natural disaster button and see how many people y'all kill then. Or we'll see how many people we can infect and kill ourselves because y'all are not doing the job for us. And the population is getting too rapid for us to supply the needs of supply and demand. It's things like that that people don't think about when things like this happen. Because it's a clear depiction of things like this in movies and TV shows and our everyday radio. Even music from back in the day, it tells you, things that happens or that are going to happen, A lot of our historical figures in music and hip hop, whether it be Notorious B.I.G. or Tupac or Big L or, I can go on and on. Most of those rappers that were killed were speaking to the public, and speaking their realness, and actually exposing people for what it really was. And when you have a voice that's loud like that, people try to quiet you. So overall with the coronavirus, man, this quarantine, yes, I think it's a great thing that people are quarantining and practicing self-distancing, because at the end of the day, you don't know where everybody else has been. You don't know if they've been infected or have been around anybody that's infected. But at the end of the day, a lot of this quarantine is messing up people's lives. You know, some people were just laid off of their job. They had bills to pay that day, and they didn't know what they were going to do. You know, as far as, you know, compensation goes, that's important when you have a family, you know, because I have a family and I know, you know, not going to work and sitting at home and finding stuff for yourself to do, eventually you get out of sync, you know, and it just it's not a reality anymore. It's like you're living in a figment of your imagination. Like, this can't be real, you know? So I'm ready for it to be over. But at the same time, I want people to be safe. I want people to know that it actually is a pandemic. It actually is something that is being very, very not looked upon the way it should be. You know, people wearing masks and gloves and the mass hysteria of, oh, I need to buy all the toilet paper I can, and I just need to buy all the ground beef in the store. And, you know, it's like, well, if all this happens and things shut down completely, you know, nobody will be at the power company to turn on the power. So if your power goes out, then all that meat goes bad in your house. So you're overstocking, you know, for something that's going to happen as like an apocalypse type situation. But if an apocalyptic situation happened, there would be no power. There would be no, you know, no reservoirs, things of that nature to actually keep the world going as it is going right now. So if we didn't have lights, if we didn't, you know, have energy or anything, how would we go about? You know, how would that 50 pounds of meat in your deep freezer in your garage pan out to be? It's going to all go bad. You can't even cook it. You don't have any fire. You don't have any electricity to turn your stove on. What are you going to do? Instead of people thinking rationally, saying, okay, well, if something does happen and we get caught up in the house, let's buy canned foods. Let's buy perishables. Things that we can eat on the go. That's still going to give us the protein and things of that nature that we need. You see what I'm saying? So it is right for you to prepare and to be ready for things, but you also need to have a plan. You know, not just to go in the store and say, hey, I'm going to buy up 15 packs of toilet paper. What are you going to do? Build a fort? I mean, you know, like, are you TPing somebody's house tonight? Because, I mean, it's only one butthole for each person in each family. How much toilet paper do you need?
Maybe that, because I think I heard a thing that came out that says one of the side effects of the COVID was diarrhea. So they want to prepare for when they have to sleep beside the bathroom. Oh, if they catch it.
I didn't hear that. That slipped.
Is it true or not? I don't know if that's a real side effect of it. It could be. It's something I heard. So I could be very wrong about that. But that could be a reason. Another reason, people, it's kind of like you see somebody doing it, so you do it too.
Yeah. Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah. That's probably what the real reason they got all the toilet paper.
I feel that.
It's like, you're about to die. Let's get toilet paper.
Yeah.
What? All right.
I would rather, me personally, like, if I was going to stock up on anything and I had, like, cash flow to just go out and buy whatever I needed and be locked down in my house for the next month or two, I would have just bought 50 guns and, you know, some food, you know, here and there, you know, some perishables, some oodles and noodles, you know, things that I can make. If I can boil some water if I got to go get some logs and put it in my fire pit in the backyard, you know, and put a pot of water over it and then bring that back inside and put that hot water over my oodles and noodles, I can eat some oodles and noodles. You know, it's things like that where you have to be resourceful. How are you going to survive? You know, do you know how to hunt? Do you know how to kill a deer? Do you know how to skin a rabbit if you kill a rabbit in your backyard? You know, country boys like myself, like I was born in the city, but I was raised in the country. So I know how to do certain things, you know, to survive. You know, it's not like if the store is shut down tomorrow, I won't be able to eat. I'm going to be good. My family's going to be good. Not everybody I can say for that. You see what I'm saying? You can't speak for everybody like that. Because some people don't even know, some people don't even know where to look for a rabbit at. Let alone how to kill it and skin it and cook it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, it's just like you said, like, oh man, we about to die. Go buy toilet paper. Like, I don't really get that ideology, you know. But hey, it is what it is.
I'll tackle it from an angle as a new grown person. When I say I mean new grown, I mean, I guess millennial call it, but I don't associate myself with those terms 'cause I think it's stupid. Whatever. All right. Let's say somebody my age, 22, so around 22, 20s, whatever. How I went about it anyway, I was like, all right, I may not catch said virus. So I was like, all right, let's do some research. Did some research, found out, hey, get some vitamin C. Cool, I got some powder and got the vitamin C pills. That's one thing I got.
Off gate.
Another thing I got, because I found it was chaga mushroom. Chaga mushroom powder.
The mushrooms?
Yeah, chaga mushroom powder. Yeah.
Or like elderberries too.
Elderberry, I got that too.
You got elderberry?
Elderberries at the house, yeah.
If you steep them and make a tea, that's the best way to get it into your immune system the fastest. So if you put it in like hot water and just like let it steep and make its own tea. Yeah,
I got the elderberry syrup, the chaga powder, and vitamin C powder. Yeah,
it's all about taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
So I mean, I definitely know about those things already. But you know, back to what you were saying. You know, you got the mushroom powder at the house, the elderberry syrup,
vitamin C powder and pill. So like I said, I was ready to go in case I felt like I was getting it, or I might have got it. I got it. Like I said.
You already had it locked in.
Put some tea in, some green tea. Like I said, hot water green tea. Get a big cup like this big or whatever. Just do some measurements in my head. That could be enough, and make it. And then I'm like, all right, this is how I'm going to do it. All right, cool, fair enough. And and that and just faith.
Right.
All right, whatever's going to happen is going to happen,
bro. I know we've been around each other since we was kids, man. But you know, a lot of people don't believe me when I say this, but I've always had this, you know, feeling, right or wrong, since we was kids. If I go today or go tomorrow, I'm gonna be happy because there's nothing that I can do to stop that. Death is inevitable. We all live, we all die. It has to happen at some point. Whether or not I die right here while we talking, or whether or not I die 50 years from now. I know that somewhere in life, I touched someone and that I made a difference in their life. So that makes me feel okay with my purpose here on earth. If you can't have that sense of readiness and faith, as you say, then everything will scare you. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I think that it builds up a wall of character that you say, okay, well, I'm going to take this day on like it's my last because I don't know whether or not it is my last. I don't need a pandemic to come and happen and say, oh, Darius, you need to get this together. Nah, it's not me. I just feel like if you live your life in preparedness, then you're always prepared, no matter what comes. So whether or not it's death or coma or sickness, whatever may come, you just know that in life, these things are inevitable. Sometimes they happen. So as people, we should already be prepared mentally to say, okay, if we're in this state or in this mindset, then, hey, you know that, yeah, everything might not be all right, but I know that eventually something's going to happen. I'm not going to be perfect all my life. No one's perfect. You know, you're not going to be in perfect health all your life. You're not going to be in perfect shape all your life. You're not going to be in perfect mental status all your life. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing that can solve that. There's no remedy per se. So, you know, I feel like, you know, with me, you know, and my business of what I actually do for a full-time job, day to day, I interact with people all the time, face to face, sales consultant, you know, back and forth, because I can sell water to a well. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type that I could sell acid to a battery. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me. You know, but at the end of the day, if I'm interacting with people face to face every day, and I have a 3-year-old daughter and a 1-year-old son, and I'm taking the precautions of myself to self-distance myself from other people, if I'm doing that for, let's say, like I did, like 2-3 weeks after we had our first case of COVID-19 in North Carolina, I was still working. Maybe I worked for another 2 or 3 weeks. So I put myself out there susceptible to getting COVID-19 still, you know, because I could have contracted it, you know, and brought it home to my family. But I would have never known that if I wouldn't have self-quarantined myself for those 14 days to see if I had any symptoms. You see what I'm saying? But if I would have continued to go to work, and let's just say I would have dealt with somebody that was possibly around it or that could have contracted it or that had it, and I brought it home to my children, do you know how bad I would have felt bringing something home like that to my kids, instead of just saying, all right, well, I'll just take the unemployment and continue to go to work. And continue to stay at home, instead of just saying, nah, I want to continue to come to work and try to make a living for my family, which some of these people have to do, like nurses and doctors and people that can't stay at home, and they have to be around people like that are infected with it and that can contract it, you know? And it's horrific to know that people can say, oh, well, it's not that serious and it's not really what we're thinking it is. But I think the nation is actually starting to, you know, adhere to the news and the numbers. Numbers don't lie. You know, they can be, you know, they can be altered, you know.
They can be fake.
They can be fake. They can always be altered. They can always be, you know, it can always be, you know, a miscalculation, you know. But when death tolls start to become up into the thousands, people start to listen a little bit more, you know. When only a couple of people have died, then they're like, oh, well, it's not that serious. I ain't gonna get that, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's go out. We still gonna go to Bahamas this year. You know, like, we still about to go to the Bahamas right now. Like, I don't care. It's a $15 flight. Let's go. Nah, like, at the end of the day, what if you eat something over there and somebody was sitting right next to you and they breathed and they coughed on your plate or something? You know what I'm saying? And then now you done contracted it. You know? But at the end of the day, I don't know how serious it is. You know, I haven't seen anyone myself that is infected with it. You know, I haven't actually seen with my own 2 eyes in person how we're sitting here that has actually contracted it, you know? And for me to not actually see the symptoms or to actually know how it affects people, you know, completely, the news can tell you anything, the president can tell you anything, you know, people can make up false news or they can make up true news. You know, it's up to us to believe how fictional or how factional it is. You see what I'm saying? So for me, yes, it's a crazy time. But at the end of the day, do I believe that it's a conspiracy? Yes, I do. Because no movie or no TV show should be able to predict our future as well as some of these things have happened in our history or that are happening presently. And that's just my thought on it, Dre. You know, I just feel like at times like these, people who don't cherish everyday life should definitely take the time to look back and recollect, like, you know, what have I been doing? You know, like, have I been living my best life? You know, things of that nature. You know, it's just like, you know, time, like me being at home right now, I'm getting wonderful time to spend with my wife and my kids. And I notice like how much I don't get to do that because I work all the time. And it's like things like that are the little things that we take for granted, you know? And some people just need to open their eyes a little bit more. And I think that this is definitely going to be an eye opener.
For some.
For some.
For some.
Still others will remain ignorant and unaware to everyday life or things that are going around them. You know, it's probably some, I mean, God forbid, but it's probably somebody out here that don't even know this whole thing's going on. Like they not even paying attention, you know? Like it's countries that are not affected by it. You know, who's to say that they don't know that it's really going on? You know, like it could be somebody going on about their everyday life that never watches news ever. And how would they be informed?
It is what it is.
You know what I'm saying? So like you were saying, some will change, but some won't. And it's a sad thing to say. It is.
How I think about life now, nothing's, as far as the masses go, it's not sad. It's just the way it is. Like COVID, Corona, it's just the way it is. It's here, it's around, it's somewhere. It's dangerous or not as dangerous as they say it is because it might not be what they say it is. So the news is lying to me every day. All right, whatever, cool. The school system, public school system lied to me my whole life. I was in it. All right, whatever, cool. Some things I taught, but most things were lies. All right, whatever, cool. So if I don't pick up on knowledge myself, then, you know, I'm just another lost cause like the rest of them. But I've had people, I've had nudges that had led me in the direction of knowledge from sources that I found myself and from other people that I just happened to come across through my job or just walking around Earth or whatever. So that's cool. Some people are supposed to have it because most people can't handle the truth. That's why you never learn it.
You're right. You're right. I mean, it's you know, like you were saying, it's crazy that we as a people had to come up with a term to define everyday life. It is what it is. I mean, if that saying was never said, what would it be?
Life.
You know? And it's just like, we go on and we endear and we continue to keep trucking because it is what it is. And we know that no matter what we do, no matter what we say, no matter how we try to change it, things are still going to be the way they are. You know, prime example, us here sitting at a table, two black men in America, you know just as much as I know, it's still racism out here. People don't like us just because of the color of our skin. But as we learned in school, segregation and racism was over what? 200 plus years ago? Correct? Supposedly. Right? You know? And it's like, well, it is what it is. I'm driving. I'm not doing anything wrong, and I still get pulled over. Why did you pull me over, sir? Your tail light was out. Actually, it wasn't. I just got an inspection last week. Here's my papers. Can I proceed with my day? No, I need you to step out of the car. No, you don't. But it's things like that every day that we still get treated poorly upon. You know, prime example, sometimes when I fill out a job application, I use my middle name instead of my first name because my middle name tends to be more towards the Latino descent more than African American descent. And it's crazy that America looks at the Latino American working harder than African Americans.
Well, I mean, here's how I look at it, right? Racism, whatever, is cool, but that's only how you calculate in your head as a so-called black person in America, right? Because first you got to break down what black is. What is that? It's a color. That's not who we are.
Not at all.
That's not where we come from. Black doesn't even. What does that even mean? So that's invalid in itself. That's
automatically mislabeling.
Yeah, programming. Yeah. They make us think we're black, trying to make us think we're all slaves. Not true as well. Only a certain amount of us were slaves. It won't even as many as they say it was. So that's also untrue. To break that down. Then they say, oh, we all come from Africa. Not true at all. So that's broken down.
It's crazy.
So it's just lies and upon lies upon lies upon lies. And people programmed to believe the lies. And now they want to be accepted with the people telling them the lies.
Right.
Because that's the people that programmed to believe that lie. And now some people are just sitting trying to fight for their acceptance where they don't care about you because you don't know yourself. That's why they won't ever care. They won't ever respect you because you don't know yourself.
True.
So until you get that knowledge of self for real, you will never get the respect that you're looking for.
You're right.
And until you do that, stop trying to follow everybody. Stop trying to be associated with these certain groups. Talking about, oh, we're going to fight. We're going to hold our fist up in the air. Nah, it hasn't done nothing and it won't do anything ever because it hasn't. If this is about racism, that would have died a long time ago. That's a fact.
Facts. I mean, like, you got to think, you know, if it really was bigger than just race and, you know, equality, things like this wouldn't happen anymore after, you know, even in our generation, like Trayvon. You know, no little boy, no matter what his color of his skin, religion, creed, whatever the case is, nobody should ever have to walk through a neighborhood with any type of clothing on and fear whether or not they're going to be gunned down by police officers.
We live in America. Anybody gets shot walking through a neighborhood no matter what they look like.
Exactly. And it's like, bro, certain neighborhoods, you only get profiled because you're that color.
But I will say this before you go on.
You know?
Certain place you just not supposed to be.
You're right.
You're not supposed to be at. If you got to think about taking a gun to a party, you should just stay home. Or if you got to think about getting shot or something don't look right where you at, turn around and go the other way.
Automatically. I mean, it's common sense in this book sense. You know, our parents try to raise us with common sense, and then our school system tries to give us the book sense. You know, some may fall by the wayside, some may not do their job. You know, but at the end of the day, it's your job to have self-preservation and knowledge of self to know, hey, look, last week somebody got shot over there. I don't know if I want to go, but you still go. You know, it's your chance. You're taking that chance, like. But then you want to, you know, start a whole revolution of, okay, well, you know, if I don't show my hands to this officer, and it's a dark out, it's dark where I'm at right now. He can't see anything that's going on in his car, and I move my hands too fast. Obviously, as a man in general, or as a person, you're gonna feel like, oh, what are you doing? That doesn't automatically give you the right to shoot me, but in some cases, some of those officers are scared for their lives. And yes, I understand, you know, in some cases, they have been defended where the guy was reaching for a gun or he really wasn't. But at the end of the day, how do you know that on the other side? And you have to think about the reciprocation of those things too. Like, you know, you have to think about the alter ego, you know. You're living in one person's shoes, but who's living in the next, you know? How would it look if he didn't make it home to his wife and kids? You know? But yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's just how you gotta think.
Yeah, but I will say this though. It all depends of how you're raised and where you come from. True. Because a lot of people don't have the chance of getting knowledge themselves. Right. And they're going to be the ones that just fall. That's just how it is. And you got to just go about it how it is, because you're not going to take everybody with you if you're trying to educate people. They're not going to be able to go with you.
Right. Some won't listen, some will.
And that's real. And that's how you got to take it. Because you can't help but do anything for those people because they're just going to fall.
Right.
And that's just, you know, all right, well, it is what it is. Life goes on.
I feel that. I mean, but I really just, you know, going back to the corona thing, man, like, I really feel like our country's going to change from it.
Oh, it already has.
You know, completely. Like, you know, every day, you know, some people, I feel like, you know, piggybacking off what my wife was saying the other day, this is creating a new generation of germaphobes. Because, like, you know, kids that are, like, you know, able to understand, like, that are, like, around the age of, like, you know, 7 to 15, let's just say that age bracket, right? They're old enough to understand what is going on and how it's affecting us, right? Now, in 10 more years, they may be those people that are like, yo, what's up, bro? How you doing? Like, or what's up, bro? How you doing? Like, we not touching each other no more. You know what I'm saying? Or, hey, like, and keep it moving. Like, no one gives handshakes anymore. No one gives fist bumps anymore. No one gives, you know, no one daps you up anymore. You know, things of that nature. It's going to completely change us, how we look on the perspective of everyday life. And I don't know if we'll ever be back to the norm that I knew as a child. We're not. And that's what I think is detrimental to this going down. Like, I think that that is the main, you know, outcome of it all. That we will be changed as a people and as a nation, and our everyday lives, you know, also to the ones that actually care and actually have been, you know, paying attention and things of that nature. But also I'm just ready for it all to end. You know, I'm ready for people to actually start self-distancing themselves from each other so we can actually go back to work, you know, and like get back to our everyday lives. Because, you know, even though we have like set times that we're all supposed to be in the house by, or we can't be with 10 or more people at one time, you have to be 6 feet apart from everybody, blah, blah, blah. No matter what the time restrictions are, no matter if the businesses are opening late or closing early, if you're still around people, there is still a chance that you can get it. So, if they never shut down everything completely and everybody has to stay at home, you know what I'm saying? Then there's always a chance of it spreading. Because people are still going to go out. So, what's the need of changing the hours? Or what's the need of actually saying, today on Tuesday, we're going to close at 5 o'clock. But on Wednesday, we're going to stay open till 7 o'clock.
Well,
what's the difference in 2 hours, bro? Just help me understand. Like, I don't understand how, if one business opened at 8 o'clock, right? And now, due to the COVID-19, they're opening at 10 o'clock. How does that change the rate of you getting COVID-19? How does that change it?
Well, it probably doesn't. The thing is for companies, it's for them to save getting sued. And for TV, it's for the news to scare you to death so you will not come outside and you will follow orders. Because if people don't follow orders, then the mass hysteria turns into uncontrolled hysteria. Mm-hmm. And that's an issue for the government in itself. Because they're controlling the mass hysteria, but they don't want people disobeying.
Yeah, they don't want people to start looting and breaking into stores, and
we don't know. They might want that,
bro.
You never know.
So. All that stuff is insured.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, they really don't care.
Yeah, they're gonna put it back together. But how I've been thinking about the corona is going back to you saying this may be detrimental to change it. I think the opposite. Going back to it is what it is. Mm-hmm. It's gonna change. For better or worse, it's going to be goods and bads that come out of this situation.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
It's going to be an advancement in technologies and such, and different things are going to be put in the world, and different business structures are going to be broken down and rebuilt, and then some. Just think. They told you that you have to go to work. Some people that had to go to work and do their job at work are now working from home. They say these people's kids are coming home realizing from their parents or realizing that they not learning much in school as they thought they was. Some of these kids coming back home stupid. And some of these parents will find out right now.
Right. Having to homeschool their kids.
Which is going to make another thing come up. Should I homeschool my child now? Since they not learning nothing in school. And some parents could teach them more, some can't. And it's a lot of people you realize that they depend on certain things being open. And it's another thing I'm going to say. You notice that a lot of people complain about going to work, but when they can't go to work, I bet you some people can't wait to go back to work now.
Bruh, honestly, it's crazy to say that, but I know so many people that are ungrateful for having a job. Like, they're like, bro, I can't stand my boss. I don't like working here. I don't like no people here. I don't like coming to work every day. But you got a job, though, right? Yeah, I got a job. Okay, you get paid? Yeah, I get paid. You can pay your bills? Yeah, I can pay my bills. I got some extra money, too. Oh, you got extra money. So you getting paid good. Yeah, but I don't like my job. You know that it's somebody out there that don't got 20 cents to their name, but yet and still you got $20 in your pocket right now. And you probably gonna have $20 in your pocket tomorrow because you go to the bank every morning to pull that $20 out just so you can have some cash on you. You know how many people would wish that they were fortunate enough to do that. Some people can't even get up out of their bed because they don't got no legs to walk. No crutches to walk on because they don't have no money to pay for them. But you ungrateful about your job. And they got to sit in the house all their life. They can't go nowhere. But you only got to sit in the house for 30 days. 2 months, maybe. At the longest. And we sit up here and as a people, even myself, it's been days where I wake up and I'm like, I'm tired. I don't want to go to work today. But after everything happened, you know, and as I've been sitting here thinking like, man, I wish I could go to work. You know, like like when it's different when it's your choice to do something and you're forced to do something. You know, when you're off on your off days and it's your choice to sit in the house, it's a difference from when you're laid off of your job. You don't know when you're going to be able to come back. You don't know what you're going to be able to provide for your family. You don't know what you're going to be able to provide for yourself, let alone you don't know when you're going to go back to work. So now it's like, okay, well, damn, fuck a off day. I'm off for the rest of this month. Like, I'm off until I'm not off no more, you know, and you don't know when that's going to happen, you know? So it's a difference. It's a major difference, you know, and I 100% agree with that, Dre. Like, I couldn't have made a better statement at the end of the day because, you know, me personally, I'm a radiant person. You know, I try to go to work and be positive, you know, I try to make other people be positive, you know, to see the glass half full instead of the glass half empty, you know, because I've had, you know, downships in my life and I've had hardships, you know, where I've had to battle uphill and came to be the person that I am today, you know? So I tell people, you know, and I don't know whether it's not for me to try to be a motivator or, you know, inspirator, you know, but whatever the case is, I just try to be more positive than more negative, you know, if I can be. And in that, you know, you saying that people who complain about work don't want to go to work, don't want to do nothing at work. When they get there, it's like they just there, they ain't doing nothing. So why are you here? You know, people like that. Yeah, I know they hating it right now, bro. I know they are, because you gotta realize work for most people is anywhere between 5 to maybe 12 hours of your day. It's only 24 hours in a day. It's pretty much half your day for most of the American people. So for a majority of your day, you ain't at home. You got something else preoccupying your time that's keeping you busy. You see what I'm saying? And keeping your brain going. Now, if you're just sitting at the house all day, you like, what can I do?
Well, stop you right there. A lot.
No, I mean, I know you can do a lot.
But I'm just,
me personally, I know that. But
depends on how somebody's wired. These are the times now where I said this when this first started. Yo, if you want to do something in your life, you better start now. If you want to actually do something you've never learned before, start your business up, think about starting a business, creating content, getting out of a situation that you didn't want to be in. Right. Now was the time. Well, when this started anyway, that was the time to really start grinding for real. Because once we get out of this, ain't nothing gonna be the same. Right. And the people that's gonna come out is gonna be dropping some heat or doing whatever they're gonna do. But you just need to be ready, whoever I'm talking to put out that heat and whatever you have to, the work you have to do, whatever work you have to do, mental work, physical work, biological work, whatever type of work you got to do to empower yourself and really get yourself where you need to be. Now's the time to do it, because all we got is time now, literally. Right. And a lot of people realize that they may not want to work for nobody anymore. It's like, oh, I want to work for myself. How do I do it? Well, you got time. Look up how to do it. LLC, websites, how to get money, selling stuff online, creating your market, finding your audience, setting your prices.
All of that.
Because a lot of people don't know why Versace, you know, them people love to pay them high price for those clothes and shoes. Because it's mental pricing. Psychological pricing is a phrase. They cost $1,000 a pop because people associate value with money. It's not cheap. So I'm not getting nothing cheap. Even if it is or it ain't worth it, it don't matter. It's like somebody's bold to price it that high. It reminds me of the LeVar Ball situation when he priced his shoes at $500. Everybody was like, oh, why is his shoes so high? Because that's what he feels he's worth. That's what he and his kids feel that they were worth for that shoe, $500.
A pair. Exactly.
And some people bought it.
You're right.
Other people was complaining because they don't have that business mindset. They're a little weak-minded. They don't know what that means. And they didn't even understand what LeVar Ball was stood for, because you don't see that type of person every day nowadays. All you see is weak people nowadays, on TV anyway.
Right.
You don't see strong people that have a plan and carry it out, especially that look like him.
Right.
Not even put that into it, but it's there for a reason.
Right.
You don't see too many people like that. So now it's time to build yourself up and build your mind.
Facts.
And coronavirus, real, fake, or whatever, do what you need to get yourself healthy. Start working on your health, because a lot of people don't work on their health. Build up your immune system. Find out what you need to be eating. Find out what's good for you. Do what you need that's good for you and your family, that's better for your future. And that's pretty much what people need to start doing. Well, and just know, question everything. Question everything. Because now is the perfect time to question everything. You see people on the news, on social media, talking about they faking the hospital lines for the coronavirus. They're faking the numbers. And they're going to give us a vaccine next year, when they said it wasn't really a cure for it at first. Now they're going to try to figure out how to do a vaccine. Take it or don't take it, whatever you do, whatever, that's your choice. And yeah. Oh, by the way, Trump's going to be president in 2020. I don't care if I break anybody's heart, but that's what's going to happen, whether y'all like it or not. And yeah, you have anything else you would like to say, sir?
I mean, honestly, bro, I just appreciate you joining me in the session, bro. You know, making me a joint part of this. You know, I'm very, very proud of you, my G. You know, point blank, period. You know, if don't nobody ever tell you that, you know, I know, you know, coming from a place where I never had a father figure really in my life, you know, it's a lot to have other people in your life continuously tell you that they're proud of you, or that they see something in you. It's a bigger part than people really realize, you know, on their everyday. You know, support is the biggest, you know, factor in all of our lives. You know, if you have support, you know, a bridge can stand for years, you know, but if it doesn't have that support, no cars can ever travel on that bridge, you know. So I just want you to know, you know, overall, man, you know, from the bottom of my heart, man, I'm really proud of you. If you ever need me ever again on any podcast or anything, brother, just let me know. For the people out here in the world, you know, be safe. You know, as my cousin said, I truly believe Trump is going to win again as well, because I just feel like politics is just corrupt, point blank, period. You can hate me for it, you can love me for it, whatever the case is. I just don't feel as if they say we have a voice, and I don't feel as if our voice is heard completely.
Well, not at the voting booth.
Yeah, I don't feel like, you know, because, you know, overall with voting in general, you know, there's still an electoral college that has to do with all of that after the end of you voting. So, and overall, what I believe in, you know, personally, you know, not saying it's the public, not saying it's for the public, but I believe that everybody has someone higher than them. Point blank and period. On this earth that we live in this earthly realm, on day-to-day basis, when you go to work or when you wake up, you know, whatever the case is, whether or not you own your own business or you don't, you still report to someone. Whether or not you report to yourself or you report to your assistant to say, hey, I need you to do this, you know, whether or not, whatever the case is, somebody is behind closed doors, always. Correct? I feel as if no matter what we do as a country or as a people, they are going to put who they want to put in the White House. The reason why I feel that way is because at times we need people who the nation can follow, who the nation sees encouragement in, who the nation sees change in, correct? But then at times, we also need reform. And we also need to be brought back to a place where not everything is our way. Not everything can go our way. Not everything happens the way we want it to happen. Correct? So then, say for instance, okay, 50% of America, well, no, let's just take it back. 30% of America is unhappy with the way that Trump does things right now, right? But 70% of America is happy with it. All right? Let's just say that. Let's just say it's a 70-30% different ratio. If government sees that, or whoever behind closed doors sees that, they say, okay, well, bro, you got 70%. Even though people don't like you this 30%, we gonna go with this 70 and we gonna put you back in office again because we know we can control you. And no matter what we tell you to do, we know that you're gonna do it because you done did it so far. It's called a puppet master. You know?
However, there may be certain people brung in to break the machine. And that's what could be going on right now. So the people that may or may not be seeing that or hearing this, just be heed to that. And to round this out, pay attention. There's a lot going on you do or do not see.
Open your eyes, baby.
And there is something higher than us humans on this earth.
Always.
Or in this atmosphere, wherever this is or whatever this is, there's something higher than us. So don't think we're the jazz because we're human and we can do a lot. There's something that can do way more than us. We just don't know about it. And to that, if you would like to follow the d.z.n.podcast, you can follow us on Instagram at d.z.n.podcast. On Twitter, d.z.n.podcast. Facebook, d.z.n.podcast. And we are on all podcasting platforms as d.z.n.podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Stitcher Radio, YouTube, and all of the above.
Talk your shit, little cuz.
And if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at retrod.art.e. If you want to follow Zoe, it's young_Pluto08. And if you want to follow Nas, it's nv.z_. And if you would like to follow my cousin, shout your social media or out.
My IG is at Streets the Roster. That's STREETSDARASTA. And then my Facebook is Streets Dutch Master Mayfield. You know, that Dutch Master go back, way back, you know. If you know me from back in the day, you know that's all I used to smoke. You know, signing off, live and direct, people. Y'all know, y'all be safe. You know, at the end of the day, like my cousin said, pay attention, bro. Not everything is as it seems. I've learned that the hard way, and I've learned it the easy way as well. Sometimes you can have an opportunity right in front of you, and you never know how grand it'll be if you're paying attention to the opportunity that you're already presented. Okay? So like I said, just stay woke, people. You know, I know that's a term that's been going on a long time, but right now is actually time to wake up. Okay? So if you haven't been awake so far, this is d.z.n. Podcast signing off. And like I said, if my cousin calls me back, I'll be here again, people. All right.
It's d.z.n. Podcast. We are out.